Recently, I stopped wearing my Apple Watch. It became quite the inconvenience having to charge it every night and then remember to put it on every morning. First world problems. So I've been looking at some alternatives. And one was this, the Evie ring, a smart ring that was designed specifically with women's health in mind. Better health starts here. I guess we'll find out soon if that's really the case. We've got this cute little charging case, and then underneath, a manual and a charging cable. I want to throw it so bad, but I hit the TV every time. First to note, the ring comes with a charging case that's portable. This is awesome if you travel frequently or are on the go often, and it holds up to 10 charges. So when your ring does eventually die, after 4+ days, all you need is the case. And then we have this cute little charging cable, which is USB-C. I guess USB-C has become the universal cable for most things. I don't need this because the case is already charged. There we go. I went for the gold ring option, but Evie also offers a rose gold and a silver option. And the first thing I'd like to point out specifically about the design is that unlike its competitors, it has this sort of open gap design, which allows it to adapt to ever-changing bodies. So if your body swells throughout the month, or if you are going through a pregnancy, you don't have to worry about your ring becoming uncomfortable, because it will adjust to you. As somebody who wears rings frequently, in fact, I go to sleep with my rings on so I don't have to remember to put them back on in the morning, I find this design quite comfortable. It's a bit thicker, obviously, between all of the tiny dainty rings that I have, but I didn't find it bothered me very much, especially sleeping with it on throughout the night and exercising throughout the day. It's also quite light. Let's weigh it and see how light it really is. I hate this scale so much. The tape over his eyes is just cursed. 0.008 pounds, 3 grams. That's pretty light. You said you have an Oura ring to compare, right? Wow. Honestly, feeling them side by side, this one is pretty light too. 3 grams, they're the same. Zirconium amorphous alloy-based titanium? Zirconium-based amorphous alloy, titanium. The outer metal coating is made of liquid metal, which is a zirconium-based amorphous alloy with a titanium PVD coating. Based on my experience wearing this for the past 5 days, it's already scuffed. So that's not a great sign, but I can't expect something that is being worn on my hands constantly to stay 100% scuff and scratch resistant. It's just a little disappointing. And then in comparison to the Oura ring, it also has experienced some scuffing. So I would say this is something that is just to be expected. Over the weekend, I found myself doing lots of chores and washing the dishes, and it was super convenient that I didn't need to remove my ring in order to continue doing the tasks that I wanted to throughout my day. You can also wear it in the shower, or if you wanted to go swimming. I prefer to take it off when I'm in the shower because this little gap actually tends to catch my hair, which isn't a very comfortable feeling. So that's the only time I found that I needed to remove my ring in order to do a daily task. Now it's time to get it set up with the app. But first, let me set you up with our sponsor. Thanks to Vessi for sponsoring today's video. Vessi claims their shoes are extremely waterproof and keep your feet cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Their storm-burst high-top shoes combine the comfort of a sneaker with the grip and coverage of an outdoor boot. Vessi has added extra layering for added warmth as well as extra grip to prevent you from slipping and sliding in unfavorable weather conditions. The stormbursts are feature-packed and will make great gifts winter, spring, summer, or fall. Check out the Vessi Stormburst and get 15% off your first purchase at shortcircuit.com/Vessi. shortcircuit.com/Vessi. Vessi.com/shortcircuit. The first issue I ran into with my experience with the Evie ring is that when I went to download the app on my phone, it wasn't available. After doing a little bit of research, I found that the app was actually only available in the US. And to make the matter worse, it's only available on iOS, but it doesn't connect with your Apple Health account. Why? So after Belle set me up with a burner phone, I was able to continue my experience with the Evie ring. So since I've been using this for a few days, I've already signed up with the app, but the process was super simple and straightforward. I would even consider it foolproof. Essentially, you just needed to input your name, your birthday, your height, your weight, whether or not you want to track your cycle, and how you identify. After I completed the sign-up process, it prompted me to choose 3 goals out of 5 different options. I chose improving my sleep, tracking my moods, and doing more active minutes. The other 2 options were tracking my cycles and improving my heart health. So as you can see here, it shows my sleep, which we can go into, and it will show the amount of time that I've slept each night. One of my gripes with this was that I didn't find that the sleep tracking was very accurate. For starters, the time that I went to bed and the time that I woke up were not accurate to the actual times that I went to sleep and woke up. This one says 12:08, but I actually went to bed around 11 o'clock and my morning did not start at 7:01. It started closer to 7:30 or 7:45. I also woke up frequently throughout the night and it doesn't show any activity for me waking up, which leads me to believe that this is a little less accurate than I would have hoped, especially when the entire goal is to be more cognizant of my sleep schedule. The other things to note in the sleep section of the app is that it also tracks your sleep vitals. So let's go to my sleep last night. And it shows my heart rate variability average, which was 43 milliseconds, as well as my blood oxygen level, which is 100%. I will get into how I feel about the blood oxygen measuring system in a second, as well as my respiration rate, which is about 15 RPM, and my skin temperature average. I do appreciate that the app shows a description for each sleep stage, but it doesn't give you a descriptor for each metric. I think that would be something that would be super beneficial for the app because as a normal user, I'm not sure what this is supposed to indicate to me. Active minutes. This is another one where I found I had inconsistent readings. So if I go to the active minutes portion of the app, I can see what my day looks like, my week looks like, and my month looks like. And I'm going to point out specifically on my Saturday. The Evie app allows you to start activities so that it can track it consistently. But if you don't start activities, it will make assumptions based on your movement. And I have not found that to be very accurate. For example, I didn't start an activity on Saturday when I went to my bar class, which was an hour long, and the app only tracked 30 active minutes. I also found my heart rate readings were not very accurate, but it doesn't display that here. Because I haven't had a control like my Apple Watch to compare, I can't really say how accurate the steps portion of the app is, but based on my experience with both the sleep and the active sections, I doubt that these are as close to accurate as you would hope, especially for something that is supposed to be giving you advice on your health. Then going into my body section, it shows your activity again, whether or not you have logged workouts, your heart rate, and spot check. So spot check essentially does a quick check on your heart rate and your blood oxygen levels. I've had varying experiences with this particular portion. In fact, there was a point where I had tried it once and it said my blood oxygen level was below 95%, which is not healthy and was indicating to me that I needed to go see a doctor. And then the second spot check I did said that I was 100%. So let's try it again now and see what my reading is this time. Oh, 99%. Yay! It actually worked fairly well this time. The other thing I noticed is that if it doesn't accurately read, it will prompt you to put the ring between the tip of your thumb and your pointer finger to gather the pulse and blood reading from your fingertips instead. And the other portion is the menstrual cycle portion. For a product that is specifically aimed at women's health, I don't find it to be very different from like the Oura Ring tracking system, for example, or even Apple's cycle tracker. You can log your mood and symptoms, but with a product that I'm wearing constantly, I don't want to have to continually go back to the app in order to input my energy level, my mood, my menstrual flow, my symptoms, etc. I didn't particularly go super in depth with this portion of the app, as my particular goals were more based around my activity and my sleep. But there are other alternatives to this, and I don't believe you need to buy a ring in order to track accurately. We have journal, which is still this like period tracking portion. And then the goals, but I don't really understand why you need to pick 3 out of the 5 goals. Like, why can't you just do all 5? I am particularly sensitive about my heart health, as I've talked about in the past, but because it wasn't the top priority between the 3, it's just not something that it can be part of my goals. This is fun. I actually haven't seen a comparison between these 2 product interfaces before. My experience with the Evie app is that it's incredibly simple to use, but it's not as accurate as I would hope for a product that is based around health. I do want to mention that a lot of people that I have seen talking about the Evie app appreciate that it doesn't have these arbitrary scores. It feels like less pressure. Instead, you're setting goals instead of trying to aim for specific numbers. Well, I guess when you're setting goals, you are still aiming for specific numbers, but do you find that Oura is like, you didn't do this well?
Yeah, sometimes. I have a lot of notifications turned off.
So while comparing, you can see that there's definitely a difference in app quality. The Oura app has a $5.99 subscription cost, where the Evie app is actually free. So as long as you purchase the ring, you can use it freely. Here we have a side-by-side comparison with the Oura app, and I'm gonna have Bell come and explain his experience with the Oura app since I'm not familiar.
Yeah, I've been using the Oura Ring for quite a while. Like, I want to say it's been about a year, and the app is quite nice. It gives you all these numbers saying, how well you slept, how hard you should go at the gym today, tracks your steps and everything like that. It definitely does have a problem of, like you were saying earlier, that, you see this and you kind of start to feel bad, where it's like, man, I did not do well yesterday. Like, that's great. But it gives you things like meditation and all this kind of insights. But if you don't pay the $6 a month, you get almost nothing. So you have to buy the ring and subscribe. Otherwise, this app is almost completely blank, which is a big bummer.
And the ring costs $300 to $500. How much did you pay for yours?
Well, luckily I work here at Linus Tech Tips, so not that. But would I pay, $300 to $500 and $6 a month? I don't know. I also wear a smartwatch, and though the battery life is a big pain in the butt,
yeah,
it's a huge asking cost unless you're really diving into fitness and health, which I'm not.
Across the board, the ring cost $269 USD, and because the app is only available in the US, it will only ship to the US. But if you want one for yourself, you can't get one because they're entirely sold out. I do want to mention that when we discussed doing this ShortCircuit, I like to take a look at the product Instagram pages just to see what their marketing looks like from a design standpoint and how people are reacting to the product in general. And most of the comments were very displeased with their customer support. And so once I went back to it a few days ago, I noticed all of the comments were turned off. That alone would lead me to not want to purchase a product like this because customer support is so important when you're spending a significant amount of money on a product. Although the Evie ring presents a compelling concept and strong messaging behind it, akin to the medical system when it comes to women's healthcare, it still has flaws and some things to work out. I do appreciate companies looking further into women's health, but this product is just not there yet. And for that reason, I probably wouldn't recommend it. But using the Evie ring, however, has led me to look into more alternatives like the Oura ring because it does solve the issue that I was having with my Apple Watch. So hopefully I'll find something soon that fits my needs. It's just not this. thank you so much for watching. If you want to know more of my thoughts on smartwatches, I'd recommend watching my Apple Watch Series 9 video.